Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Okay, good, the mic is actually on. Just wanted to double check, and I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving and has gotten over their turkey comas and stuff like that. I know I had a really good one and a lot of fun. We're going to continue on with the community gameplay of playing City of Heroes on the Rebirth server. If you want to join me, you're more than welcome to do that. It's on the Rebirth server. Play wherever you want. And if you could also join me in the Discord, the link to the Discord channel is down in the description. I'm in the Rebirth area. You do not need to talk. I just would like you to be there so that you can hear me respond, because I'm so busy watching the stream and playing the game that trying to actually stop and type just makes things a little too much. So how things are going to work there, and we need to do some missions here. We'll take them on, why not? Oh, get the exploder first, they mummed. There we go, and there's level 7 right away. Nice. Oh! Fortifier! No, you don't. Rest the guy. Knock him down. There. I hate those guys that can res. Makes things so much tougher. Okay, so I need to take out 15 of these guys. That's gonna be easy. Gray. There's 2. More right here. Ooh. So that took back up. So that ranged attack. Having knockbacks on this guy on Guardians is not a big deal, because you got a mix of range and you have a mix of melee. Making life so much easier. Okay, we got him. Extensions. Here. Guy out first. Taken out. Get the next guy. There's that. We need more. Need back him. That going. Just on that strike. That's a bummer. God, that range. Why am I running back up to him? Out. Up here. Up this civilian out. One more, so we'll just go along the street here. Both of them are gray. Got the one I need. Run back to him and finish off the mission. Okay, that's all done. Also, you haven't seen, I have a video that went out for City Heroes today that is about merging the Red Hood from DC Comics with Rogue from Marvel Comics, and going over how I would make them look, the archetype I would choose, the power sets I would choose, and stuff like that. It's a really cool video. Came out amazingly stronger than I expected. I was surprised at how powerful the character is. You'll just have to watch it to see it. Because the color palettes are different. Oh, and the looks of the characters are different. So trying to merge those two together and bring in both aspects was very interesting and fun. Take out these guys here first. One of them. There you go. I keep my eyes on what powers are up and what powers aren't. Up to him. Oh, I love the fire whip. I wish there were more whip attacks so we could literally have the whips for a complete set of melee attacks. That would be really cool. Because as a designer, the way I would design the whip attacks is they would do some flashing damage, is the main damage they would do, but then they would also have the ability to grapple, to tie up, to pull, to throw, and things like that. Because someone who uses the whip can use the whip to get it to go around a person's arm or leg and like knock them down and throw them around and pull them towards you and stuff like that. I really like to see a game that does that. In fact, actually, when I get the chance and I get good with animation, if I ever get really good with animation, because my flaws with me doing animations is I'm good with making it look good and cool. I'm terrible at the timing. My timing done on that just sucks. As an anime, if I animate something, that's the reason why my main thing of me, you know, what I do is not animation, it's 3D modeling and texturing, is I just can't seem to get the timing right. I'm always just a bit off, and so it doesn't look as good. But that, in fact, actually, I think, because I'm working on a video that's going to be about what I'd like to see for the City of Heroes private servers in the next year. And I think I'm going to put that I want to see a full whip set in there and what that would require. I am gonna go somewhere and rest. Oh. Rest while taking these out. Hide, I don't want to close. Got that one. Go over and get this one. Ninja run back on. That's the one thing I did like that Homecoming did. is they moved the animations for like Ninja Run and stuff like that over to cosmetic changes. I think that was an amazing move by them to do that. I think they were really smart to do that. That was a perfect move for them. I think other servers should sort of take lead on that kind of thing. Up with this guy here, and then I can get this box. There we go. Got so many on me at once. Good thing they were grays and greens. Okay, so got that. Now we can return. No, I think I can call him now. I can. Excellent. Set that down. See if we can take this. Nope. Drag the aggro of these guys and probably a couple others. Yep. Another full on onslaught of guys. I'm going to try to take out the greens first. They're going to do the most. Guys, back from being knocked down. I got him while I was knocked up. Knocked down, should I say. I do like that the fire whip can throw fire. That's one cool design about the fire whip that I really like. One more flare attack. There we go. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over here. Rest. Get my endurance back. All I'm... Not rest. There we go. Okay, got rested. I'm going to rest up. In the meantime, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to switch over. I want to show you guys. Okay, as you can see here, this is gaming inventory. This is my merch store where you can buy things. As you can see, it says Black Friday to Cyber Monday sale, 30% off all orders from November 28th to December 1st. So there are some cool new things in here. If I go to Controlled Chaos Gaming, I'm going to show you this shirt right here. It has the new logo in the upper right. And then if we look at the back, it has the Controlled Chaos character on the back. And that looks really cool. So some other shots I can show you. Let me show you. So this is what it would look like if you were actually be wearing it. And this is what it looks like on the back. But there's more than that. I've done some other updates. I've also done it in a hoodie version too. So you can see it right here. Here's the hoodie version. And if you want to see the back of the hoodie, that's what the back of the hoodie looks like. But there's other things in here too. Because as you can see, I have a pen and paper role-playing section, a video game section, and stuff like that. If you go to the video game section, you can see that there's different shirts in here. Like, you know, I game for the loot. And then a treasure chest. And that's all that the shirt is. And then it's also got the hoodie. If we go to the pen and paper section, we have other designs. We have some of those that are in there too. But we have things like this one right here. Is a nice design. Other designs we have, I go pen and paper, is we have this one. Size doesn't always matter. 4-sided dice versus 20-sided dice. They can both roll once. That kind of cool things. But I think I've done enough advertisement about my store. Let's go ahead, go back to the game. All right, so we're fully rested up. And by the way, link to the merch store is down in the description. Got to mention that. Run over here. Let's see if I can attack from this side and not get bombarded by those guys. That way we save on some endurance. Nope. It didn't work out that way. You do not get to get back up. Halfway down. I get this one down. Got one more to go. Probably another group of mobs to do. I missed on that attack. Okay, that one's down. So what I'm gonna do. No. These guys are in. Just gonna do this. Take them out right away. I missed. We put more accuracy. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know if I want this character to be more accurate or more damage. What would you guys say? More accuracy or more damage? Damn, they respawn quick. Accuracy, okay. We'll go accuracy. endurance up here. Definitely got to put some endurance reductions on my toggle. Now, let's go this side. There's that. I'm going to move over to here. Going to need to rest again. By the way, what do you guys think of the new t-shirt design? Do you guys like that design with the logo up front, character in back? Because it was just an idea I came up with. I'm like, I think people might like this, but you never know until people actually see it. So getting feedback, I'm always big on feedback. And I don't need you guys to be all positive with me. You can sit there and say, I don't like the place, you know, the size of the logo in front. I think it should be smaller. I think it should be bigger. It should be moved over to, you know, this area or that area. The character on the back is too small, too big. It's not centered right. You know, give me that feedback. I want that feedback. Same with my videos. If there's an issue with sound, if there's an issue with the way I edited, or something I said, as long as you say it to me of, oh, by the way, you misstated this, I'm more than happy to take that feedback. For instance, in my No Man's Sky guide I was doing about cooking, instead of saying meringue, I said margarine, because my eyes jumped and my mind filled in the gaps, and I said margarine instead of meringue. And people came out to say, dude, it's not margarine, it's meringue. And we turned it into a running joke, and we were all laughing about it. It was a mistake I made, and I was more than happy to admit to that mistake. I'm always happy to do that. But if you come up to me and you make a comment of, you sound dumb, or you're not intelligent, you're an idiot, you know, things like that, then it just gets deleted. I had someone just do the at the Nor, and I was like, okay, that is disrespectful. It's gone. I know what they were referencing. They were talking about the way I sound. And the way I sound is partially due to my cerebral palsy. I cannot help that part. You respect me and how you say things, I'm going to respect you back. You want to type up this whole entire thing trying to insult me and troll me and stuff like that? Guess what? You wasted your time. It takes one click of a button for me just to delete the comment. And I will delete rude comments. To me, and especially to someone else commenting on a video or in the community. That is the number one thing I will not stand for. I will stand up for other people more than I will stand up for myself. If I respect someone, if I am okay with someone, even if they're just an acquaintance or someone I just met, but they're nice, they're polite, they're a good person, I will stand up for that person against someone who's rude, who's a bully, who's trying to act all high and mighty. Always. Oh yeah, I agree with you. City of Heroes is a great game. I got hooked into it when it got announced. I got into the beta. I got hooked into the beta. It's the best, bar none, out of all superhero video games. Even the single player ones, like the Batman ones, the Superman ones, stuff like that. City of Heroes is the best superhero video game out there. Below that, I think it's called, yeah, Freedom Force. Freedom Force is another good, but that's a single player superhero game. Freedom Force was another really good superhero game. put the main character on the front. Well, I wanted to have something with the back. That's the reason why I put it on the back. I could do another version where I put the character on the front and the logo on the back. So that's an idea. Switch them out, but the logo would be big on the back, and then the character on the front would just be a little bit smaller. Not much smaller, just a little bit. Yes, it has one of the most. Champions Online also has good character customization. Now, bar none, the Rebirth server of City of Heroes has insane character customization. You can have animated sand skin. You can have asynchronous tights. You can have the different skin patterns show beneath the tights. So you can have like a tank top on and have rock skin or plant skin or zombie skin or neon skin, plasma skin below the tank tops, below the tights, and that just adds so much more in itself of character customization. That's amazing. Oh, I need to talk to him and get another. I'm so into talking to you guys that I forgot I was playing a game. That's half the fun of streaming, is getting to chat with you guys. And that's the other thing that I really like about City of Heroes. Overall, the City of Heroes community is so nice, so positive, and stuff like that for the majority of it. It's amazingly good. That's why I like sticking to it. And that's why I like about the No Man's Sky community, is they're the same type of community. They're nice, they're helpful, they respect one another for the majority part. We're talking like 80-90% of the community is that way. You're always going to get one or two bad actors. It's going to happen. And that's also why I've gotten into Stars Reach, is that community is extremely helpful. From the players, even the developers. I jumped in one build when they had taken away the grav mesh in Stars Reach and part of the test, because the whole entire purpose is you build the equipment you need. You're only given base equipment, and grav mesh is sort of like a jump pack or a jet pack. And I was having a hard time getting around. I'm like, can anyone build me a grav mesh? Anyone have the materials? The only one that had gotten the materials and got it the honest way was Rodney, the producer of Stars Reach, and he built me a grav mesh. And they just put in the trade mechanics so that we could actually trade with one another. And so he put in the trade slide. I said, okay, so what do you want for it? And it's like, oh, don't worry about it. I said, well, you spent resources. Let me at least give you some resources. So I gave him some resources back. Oh yeah, community is everything. That's the reason I'm a big Warhammer 40,000 fan and a big Blood Bowl fan. From the old days, we're talking 1993 was when I first got into Blood Bowl and Warhammer 40,000. And the community was great. The community was very open-minded. The players nowadays, the newer players, are all about, no, you gotta do it, play the army exactly this way. You gotta play your Blood Bowl team of this race exactly this way. It's the only way to do it. And I don't want closed-minded thinkers in the community. I like having people who are open-minded and willing to come up with new ideas and be creative. That's the whole entire point. That's the fun part of video games, especially City of Heroes, No Man's Sky, and Stars Reach. It's thinking outside the box, being creative. They all have their creative outlets. City of Heroes, it's creating your character, customization, of the looks, customization, power sets, how you do your enhancements. In No Man's Sky, it's how you build your bases. It's how you build your Corvette spaceships. In Stars Reach, it's how you build your homesteads. It's how you build your cities if you're a mayor, and plot out the land and do the laws. It's how you customize your character. It's how you create items, because in Stars Reach, nothing is found in the game but resources. Every item used by players is made by a player, whether it's that player or another player, which is amazing. So Stars Reach, for me, it's the game where I'm going to dive heavily into crafting. It's the game where I'm going to dive heavily into the resource gathering, because the resource gathering mechanics are done differently. I find doing mining very fun in Stars Reach, because it's not just going up to a resource node, hitting it, and then getting some resources. It is going and digging through the world, tunneling through the world, finding veins of the resources and digging out those veins. Sometimes it's a small amount, sometimes it's a big amount. You don't know until you get to the vein. And the fact that they actually have prospecting, where you scan the area to find the resource, and then you have to dig under the world to get to it. It's not like No Man's Sky, where your copper and your metal resources are all above ground. In Stars Reach, you actually have to dig in and tunnel. And I'm excited for the next update, because they're doing because Stars Reach is in pre-alpha. They're doing a lighting and fog update, and they showed us some of the lighting, and it's pitch black dark in those caves. And I can't wait for that part, because then it gives a reason to have lights and build lights, which is one of the things you need to build in the game. You build these little light drones that follow you around. And so that's going to become an economy resource. And the next big update that I'm really super excited for is when they put in durability, because then it puts in the full cycle of crafting and the needing for selling goods, because your weapon or your armor or your tools are not going to last. They're going to take damage over time, and then you need to go get them repaired. And when you repair them, they're going to it's going to reduce the durability so that it's less durable, and then over time it's going to just end up getting to a zero durability, where you need to replace another item. They want to make things as realistic as possible, but keeping the fun around. So if the realism isn't that fun, they're going to change it up to make it more fun, more interesting. But they want to make it as close to real life as possible. So like soil actually has pH values, so that people who are into things like farming and gardening and stuff like that can use the pH values to put the right soil down for the right plants for them to grow really strong. And they're putting in those kinds of thoughts. Oh, yeah. Have you played Blood Bowl 3? Blood Bowl 3 is awesome. I like the new tools. I'm a Skaven player. And I like the new changes to the Rat Ogre, because the Rat Ogre had the same thing that the Troll and the Ogre have. They just play dumb. The Rat Ogre, instead of playing dumb, is called Wild Animal. And if you fail on their roll to try to do something, instead of just going dumb, they will attack the nearest ally. If they're able to attack the nearest ally, they'll attack the nearest ally, knock them down, do damage wherever's needed, or maybe even miss, and then they'll attack the enemy that you're going to attack. If there's no nearby ally, they'll just play dumb and be confused. Oh, you like to... Why? Okay. This is great. I want to have this conversation. Why do you like Blood Bowl 2 better than Blood Bowl 3? Or Blood Bowl 1? I'm assuming we're talking the video games, or are we talking the board game rules? Which will now, in all actuality, there's really no difference. The video game is the board game rules. In fact, the video games, Blood Bowl 1 to Blood Bowl 3, are the reason that we have the Blood Bowl board game back. The reason why it's back in production is those video games brought so much hype and people wanted to try the board game that Games Workshop brought the board game back. Okay, so it is video games, and it's easier for you to control. So being a game designer, I'm always thinking of these things. That's a user interface thing. What about Blood Bowl 3 makes it hard to control? That's my curiosity. I want to learn these things, because knowing these things from you guys helps me out in creating games and in designs. Because what a developer might think is a good control scheme and they like, the mass majority or chunk of people may not like. Yeah, it's a Warhammer 40,000 is a very expensive hobby, and that's where they have cool things like Blood Bowl, where you're not having to build these 2,000 point armies. I like the fact that they did Kill Team, where it's a squad. So you're spending less money because those miniatures are expensive. The box sets are expensive. The rule books are expensive. And in Warhammer 40,000, from the first edition to the 9th edition, when you open up the books to create your army, you would have, in the regular rulebook, you'd have like the Space Marines, and then they would give you the block stats. In the 10th edition, they yanked out those block stats from the book and put them in cards that you have to buy separately, and I hate that. So I'm not going to be playing 10th edition at all. It feels clunky. Okay. So when you say clunky, are we talking the camera feels clunky? The control response feels clunky when you're trying to click on something? The move time feels clunky? What part of the controls feels clunky? There we go. The controls for the players feels clunky. Okay. Helps if I hit a button that actually is popped. Yeah, I'm there with you. If the controls feel clunky or slow in response, I'm not much for the game. Oh, I need to talk to him. Yep. There we go. Now we go and talk to the one guy that betrayed. Yummy. Done this mission so many times I have it memorized. I think the other thing that makes City of Heroes great is the randomization of non-storyline missions. Oh, it is graphically, it's beautiful. Here's the thing. I personally, I'm more for gameplay mechanics than I am for graphics. You can put a game in 8-bit graphics with just base colors, and I'm fine. But if you have a beautiful graphics and bad gameplay mechanics, I am not gonna like the game. You can also have bad graphics and bad gameplay mechanics. I won't like the game. Gameplay mechanics are what makes me like the game. And I actually prefer artistic art style over realism art style. Reason being is realistic will age. Look at a game from 2010 that went realistic and look at today. It doesn't look good compared to current realistics. Whereas if you take an artistic art style like World of Warcraft or City of Heroes and you compare it to a artistic art style from today, it still holds up. So I'm going to do another plug real quick for the website because, well, the sale. I want to try to get some sales and help you guys save some money on getting gifts for your, friends and family members. So I'm going to go back to here. And we have a bunch of other things here. Like we have mugs or bags. These are all the bags I have. We have these little small string bags. We have this that is a leaf pattern. This is a grass pattern. And these are hand-painted textures by me. I did the textures on this. So that doesn't look as good. Let me... Because that's the grass one. You have to really look close into it. Let's look at this leaf one. Those leaves are all hand-painted for me. I did that. But then the other one, I want to go all bags. You City of Heroes players will like this bag. Inspired by, of course, Statesman. Complete design for Statesman. And so I did these, but then also you need a new mouse pad, you need a new mouse mat. I did them for mouse pads and mouse mats. And if you like the channel and you like the logo, I now have a mouse pad with the logo. I'm going to be doing another mouse pad that I'm working on soon that's going to have the character on it. As we saw, you have things like this mouse pad, which is the grass texture mouse pad. And this is the grass texture that I'm using in the game I'm currently making called Marpingo, which is a mix between miniature golf and pinball. Same with, and it's sort of got a cartoony hand-painted texture to it. Same with this one right here. This is the leaf texture. This is for 3D modelers, for people who like 3D modeling. This is to represent sort of the lines are the edges, the gray dots are vertices, and then of course the red is just the faces. That's why I called it the 3D wired mesh frame. But then I also have mugs. I have a regular tumbler. I have a regular water bottle. I have a sports water bottle. I have a couple of them. And we have cool designs. If you're a game tester, you're going to love this mug or tumbler. Because this mug or tumbler, what it says is when a game tester is smiling, somewhere a game developer is crying. And it's all because when you write a bug that shows that a game developer's work isn't working correctly, there's a problem. And they have to go and fix it. And sometimes fixing those problems is really hard. So, and just the reason I'm showing that is once again, the sales and stuff like that It's everything's 30% off. The entire order. I forgot to. I was like, why can't I run? Helps if I stop my rest. The contacts. Call them. So. Need to run back to... I missed on that jump. Jump up here. Here. Thank you. Oh, we need to level up too. That's the other thing. Ginger mode. It's more of a strawberry blonde than ginger. No, this is not Homecoming. This is Rebirth. I'm doing a playthrough on each of the different servers to show off the different servers. So I'm playing a character from level 1 to 50 and I play with the community. So if you want to jump in and join me, you're more than welcome to join. And, you know, play the game with me. I'm more than happy to have you along. But yeah, it's to show off the other servers. I've done one for Thunder Spy, I've done Purgatory, this is Rebirth, got a couple others, and the last one I'm going to do Homecoming. And the reason I'm doing Homecoming last is Homecoming is the most populated server. It doesn't need help getting more people to play it and recognize that it's there. It's the first server that everyone normally goes to. And the reason a lot of people go to there is because it has the bigger community. So I'm trying to get players to jump to other servers and sort of be like I am, a nomad, where you're jumping to different servers based on the type of character you want to play at the time. Because the different servers some have new archetypes, some have like Rebirth. I'm a Guardian archetype in this. My primary powers are a mix of melee and ranged attacks, and my secondary powers are defensive powers. Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Thunder Spy, what they've done that's great. Your missions level up with you. Your contacts, I mean, not your missions, but your contacts level up with you. Amazing. I love that. Pet customization. Excellent. Especially for masterminds, which get so many pets, because I have a Warhammer 40,000 themed Space Marine that does soldiers, and the soldiers in there are amazing. And here's the great thing. You play on Thunder Spy, right? Have you seen the bolter rifle and the bolter pistols in the game? Have you seen the Space Marine shoulder pads in the game? Because if you've seen those in the game, I'm the one that 3D modeled them. I didn't texture them, I 3D model. I made the 3D model and in orange blue hues, textured them, put them in the game, and reset where the particle effects for shooting the bullets comes out for the bolter and the bolt pistol. In fact, if you want to, if you're sitting there saying, oh yeah, sure, you can take credit for that, go to my live stream area, look at my live stream. There's live streams of me 3D modeling those shoulder pads, of me 3D modeling the bolter, me 3D modeling the bolt pistol, to the point where I even UV mapped them. And you'll see that the model shapes are exactly the same because, like I said, I did them. So it's not a hearsay thing. I have video proof and evidence. And it's not like I uploaded a video. It's a live stream. I did it live. Excuse me. Okay, so we got that done. So now we need to go to... Oh, that's right. I hadn't leveled up. Too busy interacting with you. Oh, retrace mod. Nice. Let me train up here. Let's see. Ooh. Let's add some damage to this. Endurance reduction on that. Let's do... Get teleportation. Travel power. Why did I run back if I have a travel power? I just wasn't paying attention to my powers at all today, am I? I'll take another attack. And, oh. Enhancements. Oh, okay. So my computer, I spent $3,000 on the tower alone. I have a NVIDIA GeForce 470 IT with 32 gigabytes of memory on it. I have an Intel i7 13 Gen, which is 8 cores. I have... right now, 32 gigabytes of memory. I'm going to double that and put it to 64. I have a total of 9 terabytes. Soon I'm going to be adding another 4 terabytes to that because I'm running out of space. It's because of me doing these YouTube videos and stuff like that, along with my game design. I tell you, videos, 3D modeling, and texture work. All of that takes a crap load of memory. That's the reason why video games are so big nowadays. That's why we're having these 10 gigabytes, 15 gigabytes, 20 gigabyte video games. Is because of the graphics. It's because of the sounds. It's because of that stuff. The models and stuff like that. The actual programming size is still in your kilobytes, megabyte size of stuff. Down in the description is a link to my Discord. Join my Discord, and then I am actually in the City of Heroes chat room right now. I'm in the voice chat room for City of Heroes. So you can come and talk to me right now if you want to talk. But you have to be okay with your voice going live out onto the internet. If you're uncomfortable with that, you can direct message me and we can set up another time to sort of chat if you have questions, things like that. Because I'm more than happy to help others out. In fact, just this last weekend, I was talking to a gentleman who has an interview with Ubisoft to be a game tester. And he saw my video on how to write a bug report. And so he had a bunch of other questions. He wanted to show me up an example bug report that he has to show Ubisoft to try to get the job. And so I sort of walked him through of where he went right, where he went wrong, what he needs to change, how things should be worded right to make a good bug report, and then talk to him more about what the job was like. Got that, and I know I have... Missions. Leave. That's the detective. So this guy will actually give me missions. No link to Discord. Okay, give me one moment here. I'm looking right now. Channel. Yeah, in the description, it has the basic one sentence and it says join the community. That has the subscribe, the merch, the tip, and then it has the join Discord, the Facebook, and the Twitter links. So it is there. And actually, I'm going to do one other double check just to make sure it's showing up correctly. So here. Yep. I'm looking on my computer right now. And both when I went to edit the description, it's there. And when I'm looking, it's there. Okay. That's done. Let's actually use our teleport power that we've been ignoring this whole entire time. Because, well, brain fart, brain dead move. Right onto the wires. Missions. Okay, that's one where we have to go to the hollows. I'm not going to worry about the hollows. For right now, I want to do missions. Talk to Blue Steel. I think the only major thing I'd like to see them fix in City of Heroes is the super speed. I want super speed to be able to run up walls. I want super speed that the faster you're running, when you do a jump, the longer and the higher up you can sort of jump because of momentum. Okay, yeah, I'll have to work on that for Twitter. I don't use Twitter that much. Best ways to communicate with me is through Discord. That's the number one way because I always have Discord up. I have it on my computer and I have it on my phone. So when I'm out and about running errands or I'm on bicycle tour and I have internet connection on my phone, I'm able to pull up Discord easily with one button. But I always have Discord up on my computer, up and running. I'm checking on a regular basis Facebook, Twitter, and stuff like that. I didn't know that DMs aren't working on Twitter, so I will work on getting that fixed. And the other thing is it may be that because Elon Musk owns Twitter and he's trying to make his money back, it may be that you have to be a paid member of Twitter to be able to DM. Because I noticed once he bought it, I was unable to DM and communicate with people I was communicating with before. So that might be part of the problem. Oh, yeah? That's cool that you play on Rebirth. That's because investors are scared of MMOs. because World of Warcraft was a big success and got tens of millions of people playing it, and no other MMO is able to get up to that, investors want to see those big returns. They want to see those big profits. So a lot of investors aren't willing to invest huge amounts of money. It's because MMOs are the most expensive type of game to build. You need to have a network engineer that knows how to network code for MMOs. And that's expensive. Because in most video games that have multiplayer, when you make the game, you put the client out to the players, and then you put up a server with just the code side of things running on the server because the server doesn't need the graphical end, and you call it good. With MMOs, you put out the client to the players, but the server side has an extra beefier layer of extra things that it's doing for timers of respawn rates and drop rates and things like that needs to do. And in the case of something like Stars Reach, it also needs to communicate with the server. Server needs to communicate with the client on the change of the terrain, because players can modify the terrain and dig up the terrain and move rivers around and plant trees and things like that and dig through the ground. And the server needs to know that. Plus, the Stars Reach, their event system, it's not static in one area. They randomly spawn in different areas. So the server's literally going, okay, here's a list of a huge amount of events that I can do. I can do a meteor storm. And what kind of meteor storm? I can do a mob boss spawning on this planet. But what kind of mob boss is it? And then it needs to go, okay, where in the world am I putting this? What resources is it going to have? Because nothing drops items in Stars Reach. It drops resources. So when you kill like a boss mob or a mob, they'll drop bones, they'll drop hides, they'll drop meat, they'll drop gases sometimes. Sometimes some creatures eat stones that they keep in their stomach to help break down food. So you might find some stones and minerals and stuff like that. And so the game simulates that. And so the server needs to simulate that to send it to the client so that the player can see it and interact with it. And so that's what makes MMOs more expensive, is there's more code backside infrastructures. That's why when an MMO shuts down, you don't see private servers popping up right away. It's because someone has to go in and recreate that back-end infrastructures that MMOs need to run. The only reason City of Heroes happened was the developers leaked the server code. Things like EverQuest Project 99. They had to create their own back-end infrastructure for running the MMO. Same with the PlanetSide private server. They had to create their own back-end stuff to run that. And these World of Warcraft private servers and all these different private servers had to create a back-end to run and manage the MMO. And then there's also the constant monthly cost. When you buy a single player game, there's no monthly cost that the developer has to keep paying. When you buy a game that even has multiplayer, if the multiplayer is host-based, which means the person starting up the multiplayer game is the one hosting it, so their computer's acting like the server, there's no monthly cost for the developers. If it's a game where there's actual servers and everyone's playing on that, and then the server make sure that everything's running smoothly, then there is a slight monthly cost. A small monthly cost based on how many people are playing it. With most MMOs, the whole entire world is up and running, and each zone is a server. So Atlas Park is one server. Independence Port is another server. Kings Row is another server. And if you have instances of those servers, so like let's say Atlas Park gets filled up, so you have to have 2 Atlas Park servers. You have Atlas Park 1 and Atlas Park 2. And so you have to have 2 versions of those. No, I'm already doing that one. That's what I need. We'll pour it out this way. To get a better eye shot of who I need to talk to, and teleport right down to the ground. So I can do this. There we go. Okay, now we got the 10 skulls there. Yeah, and that's the hard thing, is getting the gameplay to be really smooth. Here's the thing. New World, read your message. As smooth as the New World. So New World, Amazon hired network and MMO experts to build New World. They spent money on that. City Heroes was the first game Cryptic ever made, so they were learning on their own, and they built their own game engine. New World used an already built game engine to make New Worlds. And so that's what's important to learn there. And what's interesting is speaking of all this, Stars Reach. Stars Reach is using the Unity engine, but they're also using half their own engine for the simulation of the worlds and things like that. What they call their sim is their own engine that communicates with the Unity game engine. So in a way, Stars Reach is using 2 engines. Their own homebrewed little engine that runs the simulation, and then Unity that allows them to do like the particle effects, the animations, and you know, the basic regular gameplay functionality. Yeah, and that's what's important. So depending on the, I mean, what do you like in MMOs? What brings you to want to play an MMO? Is it certain gameplay mechanics? Do you prefer theme box, or do you prefer sandbox? Or do you prefer theme park or sandbox? When I'm saying theme park is sort of like World of Warcraft, where it's they lead you from one quest to another quest to another quest. Whereas sandbox is more sort of like EverQuest, original EverQuest, where you had to hunt and find things and sort of create your own adventure. The game didn't handhold you like Star Wars Galaxies, original Star Wars Galaxies, before they converted from the skill system to the classes. The skill system Star Wars Galaxies was a sandbox MMO. Okay, so I need 10 skulls. Oh, I forgot my new attack. I gotta try out my new attack. It's not the new attack. That's the new attack. Oh, okay. That's the reason why you like City of Heroes, because like that car walking by, the people walking the streets and stuff like that. So you like to see an actual living world where NPCs aren't just sort of standing there, but moving around, like these guys breaking into the cars, stuff like that. That is one thing I love that City of Heroes did. They literally made the world feel alive with seeing people walk around and stuff like that. I think they were one of the first to actually do that kind of thing. Him right there. There we go. Check out trying to think of a game that sort of has that feel of the living world. Not gonna recommend Stars Reach to you because there are no walking around NPCs. Every person you see walking around in that game is a player, and that's by design. So I don't think Stars Reach would be the game for you. I wouldn't recommend Planet Side 2. Think. That feel, I think honestly, City of Heroes is your best bet right now. I have to look and see if there's other private servers up, but most others servers that did stuff like that have shut down. EverQuest doesn't have them walking around, they just have them standing around. So EverQuest wouldn't be it. Same with EverQuest 2. And go up, smack him. Okay. Low on endurance. Oh, you know why? I didn't slot. The one thing I was gonna do, which was slot up my abilities, I forgot to slot up abilities. That was my bad, my stupidity. There we go. I just need to get closer. Down and out. I'm going to rest. Manage. Need to slot. Accuracy goes here. Put that in my swiftness. Oops, I accidentally. Health. That's gonna help. Oh, there. This fine. I think we're good now. We can clean up. Alright, let's make that. There we go. Oh, I love worlds that have lore. I also like worlds where there are no lore. And the reason I like worlds with no real, full story to it, current story. I mean, for instance, what interests me about Stars Reach is there's some lore there, some basic lore there, but a lot of lore is going to be built by the players. And that's the purpose of the game. The game is all about letting the players run the world, control the world, and things like that. The game sort of pushes in certain directions and will sort of guide in certain directions to see if players will go that way, but it doesn't force them to go that way. And that's why I sort of like sandbox games. I like MMOs where there is no, you hit max level and there's nothing left to do. I like MMOs that are very sandboxy, especially the ones that have skill trees instead of levels. Star Wars Galaxies. I played that up until they switched it to a class-based system. Non-stop. The reason I keep coming back to City of Heroes is for one reason. I keep on coming up with hero ideas and creating new heroes. I have very few characters that are above level or at level 50. My main appeal to City of Heroes is the character customization and the randomization of the missions that aren't storyline based. So going into a mission and you don't know if it's going to be a cave or a building, you don't know what the layout's going to be. I like exploring. I like finding new things, exploring different dungeons and stuff like that. And City of Heroes, yeah, we don't have dungeons, but we have these missions that are indoors that can feel like dungeons. And some people are nostalgic for games. I'm nostalgic for EverQuest because I have a lot of fond memories of playing EverQuest and having fun in EverQuest. I'm nostalgic about original PlanetSide because the same issue. I have good memories of playing that game and having a lot of fun. Same thing with City of Heroes. One of the reason I keep coming back to City of Heroes is the reasons I mentioned earlier. I don't keep going back to EverQuest. I keep going back to PlanetSide and PlanetSide 2 because there is no level cap. You're there to, conquer territories and be a part of this whole entire war thing. It's another sandbox that I really enjoy. And so, yes, I do keep going back to those. I don't keep going back to other games like, Elder Scrolls Online. Once I've explored an area, that's it. Need to wait for rest up. So that I know Homecoming does that. I'll put numbers and bold letters there. There's that. While we're resting up, guess what? We're going to talk a bit more about this. But so the other cool thing that I have on gaming imagery is I have notebooks. Because guess what? I GM pen paper role playing games. I have live streams where I do that. Happens every Friday most of the time. So I use notebooks for writing down ideas. Game development, I have that kind of stuff here. And we have these cool designs. This is also on a t-shirt, this design. I'm not a wizard except for when I'm gaming. And then this is a 20-sided dice without the numbers on it. It looks sort of like a wizard's casting circle. The reason I designed it this way. Let's see. So, yeah, let's go here. So some of the other design. Oh, here's a good design. You guys ever watch my live streams? You remember the live stream where I got taken out by a purple skull? What this design is. I literally said this. Oh no, it's a purple skull. Run! And so I created this. This is all my own artwork. I did the skull. The fonts I found for this and this. I made sure that this would have black outlines around it. It would be white and then have the run. Hey, Draco. So, I have this design and you can get this on hoodies. You can get this on t-shirts. I think I have them on mouse pads. Video games. No, I need to put it on a mouse pad. Okay, I need to put that one on a mouse pad. It's not a mouse pad. Do I have it on? Actually, a better way to find out. Let me do all. Okay, I don't have it on a mug. I should probably put that on a mug. I'll have to check that out. I am so going to check that out later when you mention that. I may even have to do a video on that. But I also have a couple of stickers on here. So I have 2 or 3. So yeah, I have this on a sticker. I'm actually working on one where I have the different color systems. So I have like gray ones, green one, blue one, white one, the color system for City of Heroes. I'm going to do a sticker bundle for those. But right now I just have this one in. And then of course the Controlled Chaos gaming sticker, which I updated yesterday. So it has the new logo graphics. Oh, the 5+ challenge. Yeah. That's insane. But yeah, overall, there's that. Oh yeah, that t-shirt. I want to show you guys a t-shirt. This t-shirt right here. Life is a game. Keep playing. It's a true statement. Everything can be made into a game. You give me one thing, I can tell you how it can be turned into a game in real life. But if you notice, the dots to the eyes are 10-sided dice. If you look at game, the dash in the N is a 1. 6-sided dice with the 1. The M for game is a controller. And that controller design is my own design. It is not based off of any one type of controller. So it's not like Nintendo or Sony or Microsoft can come after me for this design. I created that all on my own using vector artwork. And this design, I'm going to tell you right now, is not purely my own design. There was another print-on-demand shop owner that I was sort of working with, and we were sort of just brainstorming and shop working ideas back and forth with one another. And I came up with this idea for Life is a Game, Keep Playing, but I didn't know how I was going to design it. And she's the one that gave me the wording layout. So this life, and then the G going over the L and connecting to the L and connecting to the K. This whole entire part right here was her idea. And I was like, but I want to throw in some game stuff, really sort of make it show gaming. And then I thought, well, I can make it, the M look like a controller. So I did this. And I was like, well, the A, the dash, I can put a dice in, the dots, I can do that. That was my contribute to it, was the wording and the gaming adding parts. Her big contribution was the layout on how the words laid out, was her big contributing part to this. And that was very fun. So anyways, let's get back to the game. There we go. I forgot to switch first and then, or switch on OBS and then switch for my side. Oops. So there's a bit of a black moment, black screen moment there. That's okay. Helps if I hit the right key. Close enough. Do that. Got this other person over here. There's some guys. Yep. That animation seems to stop early for the new ability. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You notice how it just stops just as it gets to the mid swing and it doesn't have the follow through. It's resetting too early. So it looks like it's jerking the arm back. Just feels off to me. If they're trying to look like a whip snap, I think they need to... Yeah, it's stopping right as it gets even with the body. So I think they need to let it continue on until it goes straight forward. And then have the arm and reverse the animation. Need to rest again. Well, it's nice to have you here again. I will have to give that a try sometime. I'm always up to trying different types of foods. Unless it's if it's spicy, my stomach can't handle like hot spicy foods. Like Italian spices and stuff like that, my stomach can handle. But like jalapenos and that hot type, my stomach can't. I've been there where I've been super busy. First time I got super busy was when I was working at Microsoft Game Studios, working on a project. We were in crunch time, need to get a lot of work done. So we worked 20 hours a day, 7 days a week for like a month. Insane work hours. We were all sleeping in the office. Just crazy. And it was really, really rough. But it was well worth it because the work we put in showed in the end results of the game. The game actually made twice as much in the first weekend than they thought would make in the entire lifetime of the game. And they credited us, the testers, for that because it was a remastering of a game. Plus, doing this, working for myself, working on my own businesses, running this YouTube channel, running the print-on-demand store, and running a game development, and those being my only jobs, I'm very busy too. I have to. There's times where it feels like nothing but work and sleep, work and sleep, work and sleep, work and sleep, and I sometimes schedule things out like my vacation time. I take a vacation right now once a year. And that's in September. I take a week off from doing everything. That's why for that week you don't see live streams. You still see videos because I've done them ahead. So I'm double working weeks before I go on that vacation to get the videos ready, and I schedule them to release on certain days. So while I'm out doing my bike tour and cycling around, videos are going off. And that's how I'm able to do that. And if I'm lucky, I get into areas that has an internet connection, because sometimes I'm out in areas where there is no cell phone towers. So I can't get an internet connection. When I get areas with internet connections, I'm checking on things. I'm checking emails. I'm checking my Discord. I'm checking, the YouTube channel and things like that. And because I'm a one-man show on doing all this, I don't have anyone editing my videos. I edit my own videos. I don't have anyone doing the graphics design stuff for the channel. I do that myself. I'm coding the video game myself. I'm doing all of the artwork myself and things like that. So it's a slow process. I just spent like the last year and a half on trying to get used to C# or C++ and node-based coding, and how to do multiplayer with that in the Unreal Engine and things like that. So yeah, I feel you, man. Jump down to here. Fight done. Okay, that one's done. He just needs to be... Oh. What, that new attack just doesn't feel fluid at all. It feels jerky. That end animation part where it just dead stops. It's like you smacked into a wall. And with animation, you don't want to have you don't want to have that happen. You want to have a bit of a slow, not just a dead hard stop. I think that's what's throwing it off. And the quick snap back too. Because I think what they're trying to emulate is the snapping gesture someone using a whip does, where the arm flicks out real quick to get the whip to snap out and create that cracking sound, which is basically the tip of the whip breaking the sound barrier. The mini sonic boom. Because you notice that in sounds. Listen to the sounds when I do the two whip attacks. So listen to this one. You hear that nice crisp crack? Now listen to this one. You notice it's a little bit less. I actually rested up some before attacking. Hopefully I don't draw the aggro of the others. Didn't draw the aggro of the others, and that's good. Let's rest. Oh man. Okay, the only thing that doesn't sound good to me, I'm not a fan of coconuts. I don't like coconuts. Eggs, fine. Sugar, lots and lots of sugar, not a big fan of. Sugar, I'm okay with. I like semi-sweet desserts. I like desserts that come from Japan, where they use the natural flavors mainly for the sweetening. So they use fruits and stuff like that in their desserts, and they use the flavor of the fruit to sweeten what you're having, or to give it that tartness and stuff like that. Though that kind of sweetness I really like. I can go all day on that kind of sweetness. Yeah, there's a lot of foods that can taste like, grandma's, love or parents' love type stuff. It's like, for instance, me, my favorite food in the whole entire world is spaghetti and cream puffs. But there is only one person that can make the spaghetti and cream puffs that I just love and cannot have enough of. That's my mother. The way my mother makes spaghetti is amazing. It's not from a jar. It's all from scratch except for, the noodles. She doesn't make the pasta from scratch. She buys the pasta and then cooks it. But the sauce is made from scratch. It's literally tomatoes, tomato paste, tomato sauce. It's got black olives in it. It's got celery, chopped up celery in it. It's got a mix of ground beef and mild Italian sausage, and the stuff is that's cut up like the olives and the celery, and the ground beef and sausage mix is not small little itty bitty pieces. It's big chunks. I mean the beef and sausage mix could almost be considered mini meatballs sized chunks. And that's why I love my mom's spaghetti. The cream puffs. I am not a fan of American cream puffs. American cream puffs are the pie choux dough with whipped cream in them. That's bland to me. That's blah. The European style is sort of like a custard in them. So it has a bit more flavor. It's almost like a Boston cream pie custard. What my mom does is sort of a mix between the two. She takes pudding and mixes it with whipped cream to create sort of a custard. Or like custard type thing. and it's got this really nice smooth flavor. The great thing is you can do it in vanilla, you can do it in chocolate, you can do it in banana, you can do it in butterscotch. So we can always change up the flavors. Oh, that would be insane. Yeah, because my mom also, the way she makes the spaghetti is almost the same way she makes the chili, but she also adds in some beans. And sometimes it's black beans, sometimes it's kidney beans and stuff like that, or white beans, and then puts in some chili to put a little bit of spice to it. Because we're not, me and my mom, we're not big on really hot food. It just adds a slight little kick. But has chunks of tomatoes in it and things like that. And sometimes we'll put corn in it and black olives into the chili. I'm not a soup fan. I'm a stew fan. And the reason I'm a stew fan is I like the big chunks. I like things like potato soup. Love potato soup. Clam chowder. Love clam chowder. I'm not a big fan of like chicken noodle soup unless there's big chunks. Like Campbell's chicken noodle soup. I mean, that's disgusting. You get something like the Progresso chicken noodle soup, which has the actual chunks of the meat, chunks of the, actual cut up, not diced, but cut up carrots. That's good to me. I missed a message about, do I ever play on the regular Homecoming server? Yes, I will play on the regular Homecoming server. In fact, a lot of my videos on tutorials of how to make certain builds and spec them out with enhancements and stuff like that, I do on Homecoming for one reason. I can go onto their test server and I can put in a command to make the character automatically level 50. So I'm not having to spend months working on a character to get them up to where it's show quality for tutorial. I also like Homecoming because Khaleesi's Wharf is a living zone now. It's not a barren zone. You have missions to do in there. There's people walking around. There's cars driving around. There's NPCs walking around the world that you can fight and interact with and things like that. They have exploration badges there. The changes that they made to Mastermind pets is really cool. Or not Mastermind pets, but some of the Masterminds, like the Necro. Its main personal attacks, not the pets, but its personal attacks create these little wraiths that attack things. I thought that was cool. The fact that they put in Wind Blast. I love Wind Blast. It's like, I used to be, okay, I'm nothing but Electric Blast. On Homecoming, no, screw Electric Blast. I'm addicted to Wind Blast on Homecoming. The fact that they put in Sonic Melee in this last patch that just came out. Issue 28, page 3, Legacy, is really cool. I like that. So Homecoming does some really cool stuff. Oh, that's gotta be harsh. You live in a state with the world's best barbecue, but you're terrible at barbecuing and grilling. I'll tell you what, I'm the same way. And once a year, I get really killer barbecue. And the only reason I get the really killer barbecue is I go to a recumbent retreat up in Fort Stevens near what is it? It's near, right next to Warrenton, Oregon. And the guy I share a campsite with, because we both get along really, really well, and so one time that we really get to hang out, he brings his own smoker with wood pellets and wood chips that he uses. So he'll bring some like maple wood chips, some apple wood chips, and stuff like that, and he'll smoke things. And we're talking, when he smokes stuff, like when we go to do the potluck, he smokes this brisket and this pulled pork, and it's not like an hour or two. No, I have to suffer sitting in that camp for 24 hours smelling that food cook. The great thing is once it's done and the potluck starts, before anyone is allowed to grab any of the meat that he cooks, he grabs a plate, puts them on a plate, and hands it to everyone that slept in his campsite and had to put up with that smell, as a thank you for putting up with the smell, because we don't complain. Yeah. And the funny thing is I'm playing a character that's dealing with fire when we're talking barbecue. I find it ironic. There we go, he's down. Mid-air punch. No, I do that. Okay, there we go. Got them. Oh, you know, you just ruined my schedule by saying that. Now I want to play on homecoming and take out 500 schools. I have to schedule that into my schedule. Now I want to do that. Ruined my perfectly planned, scheduled things out that was already fully packed, and now I'm trying to cram more into it because now I want to take out 500 schools because of that. Knowing that there was a badge out there for that homecoming did that. I want to jump on homecoming and do that. That's gonna be fun though. Yeah, Press Park's a good place to hunt both skulls and hellions. Halfway health, grab some inspirations. Yes, got him. I hear a cookie. Oh yeah, that's the person I go camping with. They do the exact same thing. 12 hours, 24 hours, and the pulled pork. It's funny because when he goes to take that pork and break it apart to make it into pulled pork, he's not having to do much work. He's just moving his hands gently around. It just falls apart. In fact, he can't even lift it out with the bone. If he tries to lift it out with the bone, it literally falls off and falls back into the tray that he was cooking it in, or the last stage. And he literally has it in that tray because he's had times where it gets so tender and juicy that it literally falls apart and then it starts falling into the bottom of his smoker. He had to clean out the smoker afterwards a lot more with strings of pulled pork. So the last part, he literally puts it in this sort of like tinfoil tray thing. Got that done. We got that done. Missions. Okay, we got that done. Not gonna do the distress call. We'll do this one. Here's the question for you guys. What is your favorite travel power and why? Me, in City of Heroes, my favorite travel power is flight. Secondary is teleport. Third is jump. Finally is super speed. While you guys are talking about that, let's show off a bit more here of the store. Let's say you're wanting to buy something on the store because you have a gaming friend, but you don't know what they might like the best. I have gift cards. And the gift cards you can do up to $100 on. So you could go as low as $10 to $100. And remember, it's 30% off of everything on the store. So that's the really nice thing about that. I also have over here, where is it? That's the shopping. Oh, wait, I need to put that back in. I used to have a thing here where you could ask questions. I'd have this AI answer this simple questions, such as how much is shipping? How long will it take for this order to get to me? AI can answer those questions. If you have a question that the AI doesn't have the answer to, it sends the message to me so that I can answer the question. I need to put that back in. It's not there now, but you can always message me on the Discord. Okay, well, have a good day at work. It was good talking to you too. No, the channel is not about cooking too. The channel is about gaming and interacting with you guys. It's just we ended up talking about cooking. And I'm the type of person that I'm gonna follow the conversation where it goes. It's part of conversing with someone. The channel is mainly about gaming, but if another topic is brought up that we can politely converse about, then why not talk about that too? It's all in the fun of it. This channel is never going to be strictly gaming. That's the reason why on the Discord channel, there's that general section. It doesn't state that you have to just talk about gaming. Now, if you go to the City of Heroes chat and you start talking about cooking there or another game, then yeah, your message might get moved to another channel, because that channel is specifically meant for talking about City of Heroes. Same with the No Man's Sky and the Stars Reach channel. Those channels are meant for specifically that. Just like if you come up with a meme or a funny joke, that's what the meme channel is for. The pen and paper section is for you to talk about any of the pen and paper games you want to talk about. The Warhammer 40,000 is to talk about Warhammer 40,000. You know, I'm not, certain areas are meant to talk about certain things. The general is just talk about whatever. The memes is just funny stuff. The self-promote is for if you make a video, you want to share it, self-promote's there. But let's get back into sort of talking about the stuff that you can get here and go from there. But, I like this because these are not just regular mouse pads. These are gaming mouse pads. This is an LED mouse mat. So your keyboard and stuff like that can fit on it. So it has lights that go around the edge that you can customize, which is really nice. The t-shirts I chose. For all of the t-shirts, I chose a specific print-on-demand shop to print these shirts out. And the reason I did that is because of the quality of the print. Some print shops have blurry edges, or it rubs off really easy off of the shirt. I didn't want that. I want high quality. So I did my research, and I got samples from these different places. And I found one that did a really, really killer job, where the edges were crisp. The design came out exactly like I wanted, and it stays on for a long time. I know I have customers that have had shirts for over 3 years now from my shop, and the print still looks almost new. It's just barely starting to fade. But there's cool little designs on here, like this one here. You think a Lego hurts? Try stepping on a 4-sided dice. Parents that are gamers are going to love this because they've done this. They've stepped on a Lego and they've stepped on 4-sided dice. I know my mom has. And when I showed my mom this, she laughed and she's like, I would love this shirt. I want this shirt. Because both me and my older brother are gamers and we love Legos. And she stepped on Legos and she stepped on 4-sided dice. And she knows that 4-sided dice hurts 10 times more than that Lego does. So it's just funny little statements like that. There's other things where, like this one. World builders. You have God, game designer, and then game masters. All those build worlds. Gods, they build the worlds that we actually live in. Game designers, they build the worlds that we play in. Game masters build, they take like D&D and they'll craft scenarios and the world around it, where the taverns are and stuff like that. All world builders. So if you're if you're a religious person, this thing works. If you're a game designer, this thing works. If you're a GM or a game master, this works. Other designs I have here. If you're into sci-fi stuff, we have shirts like this, where the design up front shows that your ship is following something. So it has on approach. But yet, when you flip it to the back, it shows that the enemy is behind you and it says, quit tailing me. Funny little quip. You know, it looks like this could fit for Elite Dangerous. It looks like it could fit for No Man's Sky. It looks like it could fit for Stars Reach. And that's the thing. You're never going to see IP specific stuff on this merch store right now until I actually set up licensing deals with them. So you're not going to see, Warhammer stuff. You're not going to see specifically City of Heroes. Some of the stuff may be inspired, such as the, where is it? It's a Purple Skull run. That's inspired by City of Heroes, but it's my own artwork. It's not, that image of the skull is not taken from City of Heroes. But then you have other things like, where is it? Oh, this one right here. 100% gamer. Using percentile dice, putting it the way I did, it's sort of like a, percentage sign almost. And then just the banner and then putting gamer. Only gamers will get this reference. And so this creates a talking point. Someone's going to, a pen and paper role-playing game person is going to see that shirt, recognize what it means, and it's going to start a conversation. And that's what some of my shirts are literally designed to do. Is they're meant to start conversations. Life is a game. Keep playing. That's meant to start a conversation. I only game for loot. Starts a conversation. I'm not a wizard except for when I'm gaming. Conversation starter. I think we're done with that part. I'm going to go back into game and look at the time. I need to get some other work done because I have 2 other videos I need to edit and 1 I need to record and edit. So I need to get caught up on work. I want to thank you guys for spending the time and hanging out with me and talking about different discussions. I want you all to have a great day.